You must have heard about how scary it is when owners see DSG7 speed letters flashing in Volkswagen MK6 or in other vehicles. It has the flashing PRNDS. No matter which gear you set, the car is maintaining the limbo mode and the gear letter is flashing on the dashboard. I call it the death flashing to describe this terrifying situation, as your DSG 0AM mechatronic is now approaching the status of malfunction. So today, let's see the love and hate of many DQ200 car owners, and let's get to it right away. First, let's see the components commonly fail in DQ200 mechatronic. Number 1. Accumulation valve body. The DQ200 0AM unit has the design flaw on the transmission valve body, where the accumulating canister is prone to crack. This canister, which bolts into the valve body, has the way too thin wall and causes a loss of high-pressure resistance. You can see the wall split and cracks just like picture below. Very common problem caused by this reason is the oil leaking and cause the loss of proper pressure to activate the transmission. Number 2. Piston rod leak. Two kinds of dimensions of piston plunger pictured here. One is 75 mm and the other is 77 mm. These piston plungers wear over time. When they are aged, the rods have a leak, so the oil couldn't kept in the transmission. It will cause the hydraulic accumulator can't have sufficient pressure to work system normally. Number 3. Failed reserve selector. The reason to cause so is the faulty bearing inside the reverse selector, and it will require strip down the transmission to replace the bearing or the selector fork. Pay attention on the below symptoms, as either one is the sign to signal the reverse selector value. Number 1. The loss of the reverse gear. Number 2. Crunching or grinding sound when selecting reverse. Number 3. The sixth gear does not engage in some vehicles. Number 4. Fault code 06293 or 01851 may show up when you connect it to the scanning tool. Number 5. Flashing PRNDS on the dashboard. Without any hesitation, contact your mechanics if any of these symptoms show. Next, let's see the worn DSG7 clutch disc. Just like all other car components, the clutches and discs wear over time. The clutches on the 7-speed 0AM are made of two individual friction material discs, suffer from the same wear and pressure issues just like all the other parts. And this wear in the 0AM gearbox results in clutch jarring when accelerate from car stalling or when swept the gears. Another common symptom is it produces an over-revving effect as the clutches slip and struggle to gain grip to the power from the engine. It's crucial that these clutches are installed by the experienced mechanic with specialist tools. Many cases are simply replace the worn clutches can remove the mechatronic problem, other than replacing the whole unit, which costs a fortune. Except for these components, how is your case to run into the 0AM mechatronic problems? Please comment below to share with us with your own experience. And next, let's see the symptoms of common DSG7 DQ200 problems. DSG automatic gearbox First introduced in the US market in 2005 on the Audi TT, is widely used by Audi, Porsche, and Volkswagen on their plenty vehicles. With these two clutches for one gearbox design, the power can work really nice, and the fuel economy is better improved, although it do have its own issues when compared to other automatic transmission. Except the limp home mode, which we just mentioned earlier, here are some common symptoms you can check if your DQ200 Mechatronic have the problems soon. Number 1. No drive or reverse function. Number 2. No gear engagement. Number 3. EPC light on. Number 4. Sudden loss of power. This is an invariable caused by a failed mechatronic unit, and the transmission may be forced into a fail-safe, which is what we call a limp home mode. Next, let's see the harsh gear shift. In most cases, it could be the clutch actuator malfunction as well as the oil pressure control issues. Sooner or later, the clutch-related failures are the next possible issue after the mechatronic failures. When the problem gets worse, you can hardly select any gears. Number 6. Mechanical noises. Some mechanical noises like whining, grinding, or rumbling may appear in all gears because some DSG families are prone to premature bearing wear. So be attentive to any unusual noises from the engine chamber. Number 7. Engine idles at low speeds. The reason to cause so is the mechatronic unit contains circuit that control the engine speed. When the circuit fail or corrupt, it causes the engine to stall, especially at low speeds. Following that, the relevant clutch will fail to engage properly. As we mentioned, DSG transmission is an epoch designed in 2005. Back to that time, it is the best practical unit to combine both manual and automatic transmission function. This incorporation provides the gear changes within milliseconds that can offer better and more flawless experience. While there is no transmission type is perfect, the DSG also has its own disadvantages. Slightly problems like software updates can be easily solved compared to the biggest disadvantage related the persistent reliability issue. Still, we deeply believe that with the hacks to maintain the 0 AM mechatronic, the advantages will surpass the disadvantages. With that being said, let's get to the hacks you can take care of your DSG automatic gearbox. Number 1. Don't switch to neutral when stop the car. It is recommended that not to switch to neutral when stop with the DSG. If you need a longer time to stall the car with the engine on, just switch the gear to park. Leave it in neutral long time. When you idle, you will increase the heat inside the gearbox. Also, the heat in the torque converter will be increased. So, it really makes no sense to move the gear lever and deliver mixed signals to the gearbox control unit. Number 2. Don't save fuel by gearing at neutral. Once again, please don't have the myth that switching to the neutral can save your fuel. Put the gear at neutral will put a lot of pressure on our transmission. There is even a terrifying misunderstanding that you can save the fuel by switching the gear to neutral when going downhill. Oh my, this is absolutely a dangerous gesture as it means you let go all of the control. Any descent sudden accidents will put you in a harmful situation as you have no method to switch the gear smoothly. You can imagine how harmful it is to your DSG automatic gearbox by slamming into the gears during the car is moving. Number 3. Periodically check your transmission fluid level. The myth, no need to replace the ATF never, will only damage your gearbox. The lifetime ATF is the fable. Only the regular fluid change can guarantee you clean and good fluid to your transmission. We don't want our transmission fluid get dirty or even has debris inside the tank. So remember to change the ATF every 60,000 to 80,000 miles. This will longer your transmission life for sure. Number 4. Don't switch the gear from drive to reverse when the car is still moving. Though it sounds funny, but many cars have the shifter down near the button, which can be hit accidentally easily. You won't want this heedless of attention damage your car. Number 5. Replace the transmission filter periodically. Some vehicles rely on the transmission filter to regulate the pressure of the fluid and get rid of the dirt and debris in the oil. In this case, be sure to have filter replacement regularly. Number 6. Check the engine's cooling system. The cooling system can make sure the proper temperature of both engine and transmission. Have a regular check on the cooling system can make sure it works properly and help to protect your transmission. Number 7. Pay attention on any abnormal noises from the transmission. Never ignore any strange noises while driving. Very often, the big trouble comes from our ignorance of the tiny abnormal situation. If you can sort out of the problems when they are still tiny, you can prevent the big trouble in advance. Cost of the replacing a DSG mechatronic is so high, and it varies depending on the make, the model, and the value reasons. The cost range from the mechatronic unit will be around 5,000 to 10,000 or sometimes even more. So, keep the track with the maintenance plans is the best way to take care of your DSG transmission car. Find the transmission shop near you to receive the help in time. So, how do you like today's video? We'd like to invite you to share your own experience with us. So please leave the comment below. Any experience or stories with your DQ200 0AM mechatronic will be appreciated. Alright, as always, I'd like to say thank you for your patience and watching. Remember to stay tuned as we will come back to you soon with more practical hacks and tips to maintain your cars. Adios!